Hello, everybody. Welcome to Heads Up Hockey. This is Jersey Joe talking. And yes, it has been an interesting time of year. The Devils winning the second overall pick. You probably noticed me from Locked On Devils visiting on Trey Matthews' crossover. So, yeah, here at Heads Up Hockey, one of the things that I like to talk about this time of year is that the fact that the Devils have a couple options this time around, and they're not picking first overall, they're not picking fourth, or so on and so forth. Tom Fitzgerald has mentioned in a presser that he is looking for size on the wings and someone that can score. And without further ado, one of the sources I spoke with privately is that Fitzgerald is leaning between Juraj Slafkovsky, the Slovak winger, who reminds me a lot of Rick Nash with that size, and using his size actually. And so if you look at the IIHF tapes on ESPN Plus, it's there. You can look at the previously recorded games of the games against France and Germany. So one of the positives about Slavkovsky is that given the fact that he's going to be 18 or will be 18, he's already achieved a lot at the U16s and the U18s, headed between Slovakia and Finland. Why Finland? He played in the SM Sarja League, Sarja, for Turku. So basically, Turku is a very highly known club in Liga. And so for a lot of you who are looking at this prospect, he's 6'4" and almost 225 pounds. He's what I call a Sasquatch, or sometimes in the Devils content creators stratosphere, we also call him a bear, a big bear. So without that being, just a thing, he's meant to be a scorer as well, using that shot of his. By the way, in China, of all places, in Beijing, during that Olympics, Slovakia won the bronze. And that's for a good reason. Why? They already beat the U.S. team, which was made up of mostly AHL guys and some other non-NHL league guys, because the NHLPA decided that going over to China with all the quarantine factors and all that, the zero code, would be a conundrum for them. So they opted out. So nothing against Slovakia, but Slovakia did upset the U.S. And they did upset my country. But anyways, Juraj Slafkovsky and Shimon Nemets, they all proved at a higher level that they could win one of the three medals. And they won it outrightly. And back to Slafkovsky, if you looked at the game versus Germany, a lot of people say, does he use his size? I say, yes, he does. And why is that? Because guys from Germany were trying to take him down in the offensive zone of all places, where I saw Kent Hughes in the stands the other night during that game on ESPN Plus, and he's the GM of the Montreal Canadiens, but I doubt he's picking Slafkovsky because he's very likely going to pick Shane Wright. And so, with that being said, I do see the Devils selecting Juraj Slafkovsky the way he's built like a tank, as some people are starting to describe him. And for a guy his size, some people say the skating is the problem. I said, well, Mark Stone had a skating problem, but look, he already had the offensive side to show. And you take a look at a guy like Slafkovsky, to me, he dances like a ballerina with that size and the weight distribution. So without further ado, I still have to mention that the source that I spoke with mentioned that someone else mentioned that Tom Fitzgerald also likes Logan Cooley. So to me at this point, it's common knowledge. It's just confirming that they see something that we all are starting to recognize. And I'm not trying to sound like a conspiracy theorist. So what do I like a little about Logan Cooley is that he can not only be a playmaker, he can be a finisher too, just like Slafkovsky. But one of the things is that the parallel between Slafkovsky and Cooley is that it's height. And Slafkovsky's a bit undersized, but we're starting to see more today in this NHL where undersized players are becoming more big-time scorers and playmakers. And there's being game changers too. Logan Cooley is a really solid skater. He could be a Selke Trophy finalist. And I absolutely think that when he goes in the top 5 or top 6, depending on the organization, I really think he would be an awesome pick for any of those clubs. And given the fact that, he's probably the next Datsuk, Trevor Zegras, any team that ends up with him will be very happy. It's just that the Devils have both a need and a want at 2. And if they were to choose a need/want, it's Juraj Slafkovsky because he's the big guy. He's been battle-tested at U16 age group, his U18 groups, the U20 age groups, and even in the Olympic side of things. So I really like the upside, not just near term, but also long term for Slafkovsky. He reminds me a bit of Pavel Demitra, but more so Rick Nash in a way. And I would be happy to see a team like the New Jersey Devils to take him at 2, but I would still be happy if the Devils chose Logan Cooley at 2. But because Tom Fitzgerald's been mentioning we need size, we need wingers, and the Devils already have a 5'11", 6-foot guy in Alexander Holtz as a sniper. I really like the idea of adding Slafkovsky. You already have Miles Wood, who's a big guy who can play physical on the bottom 4th line. You have Bastion, who's a big guy on the 4th line. You have Dawson Mercer, who can play 2nd and 3rd line minutes. The Devils have Jesper Bratt. They're going to extend. If Fitzgerald didn't re-sign or doesn't re-sign Bratt, it's going to be a huge problem for the right wing or even the left wing. Now, guaranteed that everything goes right for the New Jersey Devils, you're going to have a lot of high-octane offense on the right wing. Now, if the Devils get Slafkovsky on the left wing, paired with Hughes or Heischer, and then you have I'm just going off the top of my head because I'm not looking at the depth chart, so you already have him, Tatar, and Miles Wood, just to name a few guys. Some other names will come later, but the Devils will make some moves in the offseason, and I'm not including Pavel Zacha. To me, the Devils are done with him. Why? Even Elliot Friedman said that he would be shocked if Pavel Zacha returns. And given the fact that the Devils have Hughes, Heischer, Bolkvist, and even Zetterlund as centers, they could easily have 3 first-line centers along with the wingers that they add. And if the Devils add a Philip Forsberg through free agency or even add New Jersey native in Johnny Gaudreau, the Devils will definitely end up keeping that 2nd overall pick. And the Devils won't be able to sign those guys until free agent frenzy. Now, back to the free agent frenzy part. I'm just going to go research the dates for you. So that way you don't be like, hey, Joe, why didn't you mention this before? And I'm just doing it now. I'm just searching. I keep track of all the dates in my phone. Why? It saves me time and problems. So the first NHL buyout period is July 1st, which used to be over a year ago. Canada Day would be free agent frenzy. So now with the way the NHL has redone some things, the NHL draft is July 7th and 8th. And the July 12th date is the first buyout period ends. So there's an 11-day window. So, and July 13th, free agent frenzy begins. So whoever's available still, and the Devils are rumored to get someone of a really good ilk, I see the Devils making a move, but not using all their assets. So without any further problems, I think the Devils are pretty much set going forward before those dates. So NHL Draft Day 1 is July 7th, and then Day 2 through Day 2 will be rounds 2 through 7 on July 8th. So I have this from The Athletic, and for those who are wondering, May 2nd is the first day of the Stanley Cup playoffs, and then June 30th is the last possible day of the Stanley Cup playoffs, if there's like a game 7. So either way, things are going to fall into place, and it seems like the next day after July 1st, first buyout period opens. So by the time you get to the Stanley Cup, a lot of the rumors start to begin foaming, and if not brewing, into like a latte. So it's really going to be a very interesting time seeing what the hockey rumor gods are giving us, and everything else going to fall into place. So a lot of, armchair GMs, hockey writers out there are going to be in a huge content frenzy before things get very quiet in the offseason, and then we will all see how things go. But with that being said, thank you for coming over to the Heads Up Hockey channel. If you like what you see, give me a like. If you really want to stay on the channel, hit the subscribe button. It's free. And if you want to, sponsor the podcast, it is HUH 2021 2021. It's just that simple. HUH 2021. As I like to say, happy hockey. This is the Hockey Coffee Hour. And have a great day, everyone.